Cross your hands behind your head. Don't resist, and I won't shoot you. I obey him, moving slowly. Don't shoot me. He orders me to walk, and the two of us slowly enter the other train car, not the one Lupin and I had planned to disconnect. Hmm. There are almost a dozen soldiers in here. If I had to take on this number of guards by myself, there's no way I could win. Yoko. Don't give up. Look for an opportunity. That's how Lupin had taught me to think when caught in a situation like this. Thanks to his lessons, I was able to calmly observe my surroundings without panicking. Hmm. Nobody utters a word. The only sound the only sound is the rattle of the train car along the tracks. I wonder what happened to the others. Did my failure put them all in danger? As I'm thinking this. You certainly are a quiet one. Hi, Joko. You certainly are a quiet one. Hmm? Several Twilight soldiers stand around me as I sit in the narrow passageway, my legs tucked beneath me. The man who captured me is smiling at me in a calm manner that seems oddly out of place in this situation. I was expecting a young lady such as yourself to cry or scream or make some sort of commotion. It would seem that you have more self-control than you let on. Or are you merely mute from terror? I'm scared, but it's in times like this that I most need to remain calm. I see. Wonderful. I'd like some of my men to follow your example of composure. I suppose you are a unique individual after all, to us, and to him, and to the entire world. Him? The world? What is he talking about? I open my mouth to ask, but I'm cut off by a voice coming from behind the man. This conversation is unnecessary, Alistair. Fine. Be your usual cruel self, denying this old fool the joy of conversation. The man referred to as Alistair chuckles to himself and moves aside. The person standing behind him is... Joke's on you, fool. I studied the power of the fifth degree and punches him in the jaw. Yes! We finally meet, sister. The speaker is a young boy sitting on an armrest of one of the train seats. His hair is a white golden color. His eyes are jade, each one a different shade. His voice is as cold as ice, and he turns a thin smile towards me. Sister, who are you? Oh, that's right. You wouldn't know who I am. You were asleep. You were always asleep. I only awoke a year ago or so, but you have knowledge, don't you, sister? You and I share the same father. That would make it a simple matter to figure out why I call you my sister, yes? Sister, that must mean we're related by blood. Or adoption, one of those work. And he has a connection with my father. Could it be? Or you, my younger brother? The boy nods, satisfied. Yes, indeed. I am your younger brother. My name is Finis. What's more, I am currently the leader of Twilight, and the person you have come here for. Oh no! How could you be my brother? It's the truth. I am your brother. Your one and only remaining family member. I'm so surprised I forgot to breathe. I can't believe I have a brother. Who are you, twink boy? Oh my god! This game is full of twinks! And that this is the sibling sitting right in front of me is the Twilight Commander? Who would have imagined it? You and I have inherited the dreams of our father, Isaac Beckford. We inherited his dreams? I can't help but repeat what he said. Do I surprise you? Of course, anyone would react this way on discovering that the people hunting you are led by family. What's more, you have something you want to ask me, don't you? About why Twilight wants you? About the horologium in your chest? About your memory, perhaps? Why your body is filled with poison, and what it is? And of course, about whether or not it is possible to remove that poison. How did you know? How? You're funny. You and your crew tried to trap me, but you fell into our trap instead. I leaked the information that would be aboard this train, knowing that it would reach your ears. With just a touch of a lie regarding the amount of security would be with me. I just wanted to meet you already, so I threw some bait to lure you in. Hmm. Oh, is this all new information confusing to you? Don't worry, we can go over all of it again later. This probably isn't a very relaxing place for you. Alistair, we've secured my sister. Let's go. A dull explosion makes me shake to my core, and the man who had me at gunpoint earlier nods. We've just wrapped things up as well. I turn and see the train car behind us falling behind, getting further away. Curry, no, my question is about why are you stopping my date with Sad Boy? This means that I've been isolated from Lupin and the others. No more interruptions. Now we just... Suddenly the window shatters as someone leaps through the glass standing between Finis and me. Hey look, Choco! Twilight soldiers react quickly, but faster are still the fusillade of gunshots, and takes them down one after another. It seems you spoke too soon. We have an unwanted visitor, Alistair. It looks like you didn't quite finish your job. Don't be too hard on me. Most plans go awry when you're up against the human weapon. Thank you, man! Van Helsing doesn't let me finish. Sad boy! He holds up a hand to stop me and keeps his distance, staring at Finis. Nobody move. If anyone so much as lifts a finger, I will shoot this man. I'll shoot Finis. Van Helsing points a gun at Finis. He's completely calm and seems to have firmly set his mind on a course of action. Sensing his tense, murderous intent, the few conscious soldiers move around us show no signs of taking action. Now who do we have here? The infamous Abraham Van Helsing himself. It's been a while, hasn't it? When did we last speak? Quiet. You've always been doing nothing but empty threats. Why don't you just pull that trigger instead of wasting our time? Shut up. Aim well, the head or the heart. Strike out whichever part you like. I said shut up. Van Helsing roars in agitation as his gun roars along with him. Parts of the metal seat beside Finis is twisted out of shape in an instant. Try and joke around with me again, and I will kill you without hesitation. Kill me? You can't kill me. It's impossible. Would you like me to try? He cocks his gun. Taking this as a sign, the Twilight soldiers move in unison, taking a fighting stances with their slender blades. The man standing next to Finis, Alistair, takes a step forward. Abraham, put the gun down, won't you? For old time's sake? I can't do that, Alistair. Van Helsing responds without hesitation. Do these two know each other? I remember that Van Helsing had said that he was a member of Twilight in the past, and I only have a moment with my own thoughts. Finis, I am going to kill you here and now. But Van Helsing, this whole mission... If I can kill Finis with my own hands, that becomes my top priority. Van Helsing? You can't make up your mind. What? Again, you're wasting an opportunity with unnecessary talk. You won't pull the trigger because you can't make a decision. Do you fear dying? Or perhaps you fear her dying? Or no, maybe. Are you afraid that I won't die? Van Helsing says nothing and just glares at Finis. His gun trembles slightly, but I can't tell if it's from rage or from fear. I can't move. The strange atmosphere permeating the room has completely swallowed us. At this rate, we'll... Suddenly a loud crash breaks the silence as a cannonball the size of my fist smashed through the window. I've seen this many times during training. Van Helsing, duck! Van Helsing reacts quickly. Red, blue, green, yellow. Fireworks go off, shrieking furiously. The car is filled with sound and light. Soldiers quickly take cover behind the seats and step forward to protect Finis. Intimidation through fire, an escape tool that suits Lupin's style. It doesn't hurt anyone, but surprises them. It's especially effective against trained enemies who try and anticipate what's next. Enemies who don't know about the trick take a step back. Those who know about it can use the surprise as an opportunity. Cardia! Lupin's voice comes through out the window. He's hanging from a rope ladder and he reaches out his hand to me. It seems that he's somehow hanging from the other side of the anthropometer. Over here! Run! Lupin's shouts can be overheard through the busts of fireworks. I won't let you escape, sister. He pushes his guard aside and tries to grab me. Ugh. Next time I will strike Finis. Right before Van Helsing leaps from the train, he helps me by firing his gun. Oh my god, he's just at the window! The train's still going at full speed! I'm not as tough as Van Helsing. If I hit the ground, it'd undoubtedly kill me. But so what? I have faith in Lupin that'll catch me. Lupin! Just as Finish's fingers brush against me. I get a short running start and jump with all my might outside the window. I can't control my body as I tumble in the thrashing wind. The ground rushes up. Lupin's strong arms catch me before I hit. You jumped! Good job! As soon as Lupin has a hold of me, the anthropometer turns away from the train. In an instant, we've gained distance from the train. As it gets smaller and smaller, I look at Finis through the window. Man, YOLO. He's fine. And for some strange reason, he's smiling, as if he enjoyed that we resisted. It's an expression of glee, like that of a small child discovering a fun new toy. Lupin tightens his grip on me, as if he has gotten the same impression from Finis's face. We fell right into his trap. He says this in a low voice, tinged with frustration. Yes, we failed the mission, but he probably is concerned that letting Finis escape will prove to be an even greater threat later. Finis, Twilight's leader, and perhaps my brother. It should be impossible to believe, yet I feel as though I've felt that cold gaze somewhere before. Long, long time ago. Somewhere. Hey, you two, we're running low on fuel. I'm going to speed up so it'll get a little shaky. Hold on. Impy's shout brings me back to my senses. For now, what matters most is that we've escaped Twilight's clutches. Right, don't worry about us. We're counting on you to get us back to the rendezvous point, Impy. What about Victor? Don't worry about him, I've already picked him up. So that's that. We're done here. Let's get the hell out. What's the matter, Cardia? I don't know. My chest is burning. Your chest? Did something happen to the horologium? I don't know. It's pulsating, searing pain. I tightly hold my chest and watch the train disappear into the distance. Chapter 5, Vampire Requiem. We're gonna see the other good boy. Cece, it's time to eat. I pour some dog food onto the plate and place it onto the floor. Cece eagerly runs up to it. Wow, Cece's really warmed up to you. Yes, we sleep together every night. I'm jealous. Damn, I should have been born a dog. Cece, you fuzzy little Casanova, change places with me. No. This is my dog. Hey! Ow! What? Ow! No biting! Ouch! Perhaps he doesn't think it's fair trade. I have to say I agree. The Count joins in on our conversation as he reads the newspaper. Yes. Do you realize how mean you're being? Whoa, Cece, knock it off! Are you trying to rip my clothes to pieces? Effie stands up and starts flailing, causing a commotion around the table. Cece, stop it. Effie saved your life. Cece comes back to eat when I call to him. Hey, that's right. You need to have a little gratitude. You're all so noisy. Can't we even have breakfast in peace? Oh no, it's best when meals are lively. When I eat with you, the food seems so much more delicious than eating it by myself. Several days have passed since the failed kidnapping mission. Surprisingly, not much has changed around us since then. Twilight didn't find out where we are, and we haven't faced any sort of danger. On the surface, our days are more peaceful than ever. And yet, Twilight's leader, Fitness, who claimed to be my brother, it seems that he is the person Van Helsing had mentioned before. Back on the train, Van Helsing seemed ready to kill him. He hasn't told us any reason why. My own mysteries about my poison in my body, my missing father, what happened to my memory. They've only become more confusing since that boy, claiming to be my brother, appeared. And yet, after our encounter with him, it felt like the horologium in my chest grew hot. It's back to normal now. I wonder what that was about. To think that the information I obtained was a trap itself. Puts my reputation as a master thief to shame. What's in the past is past. Don't keep reliving it. Van Helsing, you seem oddly calm. What's the individual acting as Twilight's leader? I heard you hold quite a grudge against this person, Finnis. Van Helsing puts his tea down and lets out a deep sigh. I suppose there's no use hiding that boy in his dumb small top hat. You're right. It's the truth. My target is none other than Finnis. His firm voice echoes in my ears. I missed the opportunity this time, but it won't happen again. Next time I will make sure he dies. That is all. Van Helsing. Van Helsing looks calm as he speaks, but at the same time, it would seem like a string wound so tight that it would break with a touch. That reminds me, Finnis is definitely a concern, but there's something else I'm curious about. Abraham, put the gun down, won't you, for old time's sake? There was an older man named Alistair. He seemed to know Van Helsing, but he very much was part of Finnis's group. I wonder how they know each other. Every time we spoke about the mission, he tended to focus only on Finnis. I couldn't find the right time to tell the others about the other man. And since Van Helsing doesn't seem to want to mention anything about him, maybe I shouldn't bring it up? The feeling of failure from the other day starts to wear on us. I realize that Victor is clutching his head with an extremely gloomy look. What's the matter? Are you still hung up on our mission? You guys are all bringing me down. Whatever happens, we're all back safe. Like Van Helsing said, let's just wait for the next opportunity. Yes, and this isn't just an option coming from merely optimism, now that we know who our enemy is. Dang, now I notice all these guys have top hats. If he doesn't have a top hat, Van Helsing doesn't have one, Victor doesn't, Leonhardt doesn't. We have one more trick up our sleeve in order to counter them. Oh, that wasn't why I just sighed just now. Well, what is it? Speak up. If there's something you want to say it so we can all understand. Yeah, you're right. I'll tell you all this. It's not a problem you should be tackling alone. We stop eating at Victor's serious tone. You see, should I really be telling you this? Even Cece has one. Oh, come on, what is it already? Just spit it out. I have a good idea what this is about. What? I have no idea myself. Tell us, Victor. Well, you see, I have no more money. No money? Yes, a little while ago I took it upon myself to take the role of managing all of our finances, right? Yes, we gave you all of our money and you would distribute it depending on what our budget needs were. Before then, we just put everything in a big pile and take what we needed. Your financial management skills are atrocious. Really, just deplorable. You're one to talk. You're always going to Victor for a handout. Well, the few I can think of is Lupin, Cece, Vampire Bean, that kid, the other guy. Well, it's just 5 minutes. No, it's okay. A lot of boys are wearing hats. Do you lack mental capacity along with common sense? It costs money to acquire ammunition. Even a child understands that. No common sense at all. Huh, you're really on point with that one. How did we get into this mess? What do you mean? The thing is, the very day I was put in charge of your books, I came face to face with a shocking truth. There was no money to manage to begin with. That's what I thought. I've often seen you sigh every time you opened your wallet. This concerns you too, Count. We have got nothing. Don't you understand? Soon we won't have enough for daily meals. Are you serious? How did we end up like this? Do I smell embezzlement? Impy, do you remember how much it costs to maintain the Anthropoder? Oh. So you're the problem, Impy. Unbelievable. And the development of your escape items, Lupin, those ended up costing 3 times as much as you originally requested. Well, I had some new ideas and I couldn't help myself. You mean to take on the nation's top intelligence agency when you can't keep a track of your money? This is embarrassing. And Van Helsing. The money you spent on bullets is greater than what Lupin or Impy even spent. What did you say? So you didn't use much money for your own research, Victor. I used more than anybody else. What? I didn't hear you. What did you say? I spent the most. You did? What? What nerve do you have to be lecturing us then? Ah, I see. So you couldn't come out and say it because you were at fault as well. I'm very sorry. I made way too many flash bombs for the abduction mission. Well, I mean, like bullets and ice. And Lupin told me not to worry about finances. So as long as I was creating something useful, so... Hey, don't throw me under the trolley! Lupin, you took quite a large sum of money, saying that you needed it to gather information. That can't be helped. It's necessary cost. The best way to get people to do what you want is to fork over some cash. Impy came crying to me to create the supplementary fuel for the Anthropoder's backup engine. Uh, um, yes, I may have requested something like that from you. What about you, Van Helsing? Did you ask Victor for anything? Well, when he came to me, it was more like, you know what'll happen if you don't make a new type of explosive. Van Helsing, you shouldn't go around threatening your teammates. That explosive saved your life. I've done nothing wrong. So basically, everyone's responsible. Are you saying it's so bad that we don't even have enough for food? Yeah, we should be able to keep our hunger at bay for a while using the preserved food stored here in the mansion. I don't have much ammunition left. Bullets are nice. Maybe you can try hitting people with your gun instead of shooting them? Fine. The gun merely is a tool. If worse comes to worse, I'll fight them empty-handed. I guess not even the human weapon is a match for the power of money. Impy, you are forbidden from tinkering with your machines. What? Wait a minute. Tinkering is like breathing for me. You're gonna try and kill me. I'm going to give you my daily research too. I'm going to give up my daily research too. I'd like it if you could cooperate. This is very, very bad. Food is one thing, but if we can't defend ourselves when Twilight comes knocking, it's not funny. I guess no one is safe from poverty. This is becoming a depressing conversation. Oh, right! Sadie G? No can do. I don't want to be a part of your unpredictable expenses. Don't be like that. If we sold off a couple of your antiques, I think we could make a pretty hefty amount. I see. You want to involve my art. I don't mind, but I trust you'll be able to prepare to endure a suitable punishment. What's this? Saint Germain is smiling his usual smile, but I sense a deep anger underneath. See? Sir, Count Saint G, sir? Just stop it. Say anything more and he will kick you right out of the mansion. Never mind, I'll stay put. If man should not work, he shall not eat. Those who can work must work hard, such is the law of society. Why don't you all put some of your talents to use and go make some money? Our talents? See, I need to keep my money so that MC, so I can kill MC. I mean, I needed super hearts. Then Lupin is the best suited. He can steal riches from those who obtain money illegally. No way, that'd be a crime. So what? You're a thief. Theft is a crime. I may be a thief, but I am a gentleman thief. I take actions for myself. I take actions not for myself, but for others. I don't steal for personal gain. That is my code. Then, how did you make your money up until now? I would punish bad guys and return their money to the original owner. Minus a small handling fee, of course. Then go find some rich people who have been stolen from, collect some more of these handling fees. Again, that would be acting of my own gain. The moment I start acting for myself, I would no longer be a gentleman thief. This Lupin guy is a little complicated. I think he's very cool, though. Everyone turns to me. That's just what I think. I stammer out an excuse, but Lupin smiles and thanks me. If we can't count on Lupin, we'll have to find some sort of work. But we can't focus all of our efforts on making money. If only there was one big job that paid a lot in a short time. Why don't we go back to the casino and make some money there? Do you remember how much we won an insane amount last time? We've been blacklisted from entering any casino for a while. We won that much? Yes, if only we still had our winnings, we wouldn't be worried about money now. That's right, but it all went to waste when somebody started shooting up the place. Van Helsing doesn't react to envy at all, but his eyes narrow as he read the newspaper in front of him. There's one good job. He lays the newspaper down on the table and gestures at the page. Look at page 3 here. Classifieds. Help wanted, looking for a teacher to teach at North London Seminary. North London Seminary? That's an all-girls school! Let's do it! He'll never make it past the interview. His motives are impure. Are you going to teach Van Helsing? No, I was pointing at the ad below it. Reward? Bullets! The Adele and Brutus firm has received a note informing of an intent to rob this year's annual outdoor auction. The Adele and Brutus firm. Isn't that the public front of London's firm? Oh, how bold of a thief to send a notice to such a place. A thief is after the pendant called Nosferatu's Saber. The thief has repeatedly committed crimes by appearing suddenly out of the darkness. A detailed description is unavailable, as witnesses are knocked out in one blow. Sounds a lot like you, Lupin. I don't resort to vulgar violence. It's a thief who's been troubling London, making the rest of our kind look bad. Yes, we wouldn't want people to think that thieves are bad guys or anything. I recall that Lupin mentioned something like this before. The spokesman for the firm says, our firm will not yield to such threats. Are you sure it's not you? I said it isn't! We have decided to place a bounty on this thief. The reward is 10 million. We await the attendance of the bounty hunters who are confident in their skills. 10 million? million? If we get that, we can have all the parts and devices we ever want. Don't count money we haven't earned yet, but it isn't a bad deal. If a thief appears at the auction as announced, capturing him will be simple. We'll greet him and we'll grab him, then our money troubles will be over. But that would put us in contract with the organized crime ring. The earnings are huge, and it might be too risky. We're already up against one notorious group. I don't like this idea, but considering how much trouble it would turn into. Oh, that's my brother. Okay. We don't really care what we do, as long as we get some money. If you are all up against it, I can go apprehend the thief on my own. Cardia, what do you think? I think it's a good idea. Like Victor said, we can't spend too much time worrying, trying to find money. If we need a lot of money soon, then I think it's necessary to put ourselves in a risky situation. You're right, and the fact of the matter is that we really do need the money. Then it's settled. Let's go rid the streets of this lowly cutpurse. I think I sense some hostility there. After we talk some more, we'll go to the location and check it out. We'll make our decision based on what we see. Is that fine with you? I think that's a good plan. No savage wannabe bandits is a match for Lupin, the gentleman thief. As saying goes, set a thief to catch a thief. I like punching, so yes, good idea. Van Helsing stares at the newspaper. Nosferatu saber. What's the matter? It's nothing. I was just remarking on what a beautiful pendant it is. The article does have a photograph of the pendant, but the printing is grainy and hard to see. Van Helsing seems broody as he stares at the picture. Later, we arrive at the auction site. Among the well-dressed ladies and men are gruff-looking security guards in black. Is this the casino we went to before? Lupin nods. They do it all in the same place, then. They probably want to maximize their use of the space. They put a lot of revenue into attracting customers here. But is it alright for us to go in? Van Helsing caused quite a scene before. He knocked out a lot of guards. Where is Van Helsing anyway? Did he get scared and take off? Did who get scared? What? Where'd you come from? Speak of the devil. Van Helsing, where were you? I had to talk with the events host to make sure I was welcome. Even after what happened last time? Are you sure it's alright? He saw my abilities and allowed me to enter. I don't mean to cling to past glory, but my reputation does still precede me. The hero of the Vampire War. I suppose it would be an obvious choice for the host to... would like more power present. We agree with the count and make our way to the venue. There's a large tent alongside where the auction is taking place. Inside are more elegant people, but one corner is strange. The target is mine. Ha, don't be stupid. With this reward this big, there's no way you'll get past me. There's a group of fierce-looking men gathered in one corner, looking tense. Are we gonna stand with them? Don't worry about those fools. They're all insignificant. You could easily handle any one of them. It doesn't seem that way. I look around and spot an unexpected face. Lupin! That man over there! You see him too? I wonder what that old guy is doing here. That's Imperial Guard Captain Leonhardt. He usually guards the royal family. Do you know him? Yes, he tried to kidnap me. What? You mean in Wales? Should we leave? Isn't her being here too much of a risk right now? Don't worry. It was dark and we were dressed differently. He wouldn't recognize us based on our appearances here. Besides, he has better things to worry about the present than little old me. What do you mean? Lupin glances at Leonhardt with a mischievous look on his face. Huh? Well, well, here comes somebody looking all high and mighty. This isn't one of your dainty rich person balls. Scram. Excuse me? They're messing with him. Oh dear, that is what happens with— Oh, Pepper! Pepper! Hey, it's okay! You're okay! Sorry, she heard a noise outside and it scared her. Oh dear. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. You should have dressed more appropriately for this occasion. You, of all people, are saying that. Honored bounty hunters, thank you for gathering here today. A man dressed in black appears from the main stage with a bright smile. I'd like to explain the terms of the bounty payment. Looks like we're getting the rundown now. There's no use being intimidated. Shall we go over? Are you sure we'll be alright? Our clothing does stand out. Do you think they'll hassle us, like Leonhardt? No, not to worry. I guarantee that none of them will come near us. What? Wonder where the Count gets his confidence. I realize that he means that as soon as we head into the crowd. Hey, isn't that Van Helsing? Van Helsing? You mean war hero Van Helsing? I heard he and his partner brought down the vampire lair. Just the two of them, during the vampire war. Seriously? No wonder they call him the human weapon. Van Helsing leads the way and the men around us step aside respectfully. Nice. All hail the great Van Helsing. You've got quite the reputation. The MC continues speaking as we make our way towards the stage. According to the letter we've received, the crime will take place at 10 p.m. Oh, it's Brittany. Okay, let me answer that really quick on my phone. Oh, she's just sending me jokes. Okay. Bannon has had jokes on them. I'm sad boy who likes knitting. According to the letter we received, the crime will take place at 10 p.m., which is when tonight's main item, Nosferatu's saber, will be put up for bid. Our firm prides itself on assuring an uninterrupted auction experience, no matter what happens. We must put the thief in his place, to serve as an example for other reprehensible thieves who might try otherwise to threaten us. Please capture him. It doesn't matter how. Alive, preferably. We wish to avoid any unfortunate accidents if it can, but, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. There are a few rough laughs and snickers from the bounty hunters in the audience. I see. So it's a dead or alive type of thing. No wonder they didn't ask the yard for protection. They want to turn this into a warning. A warning? This firm places a great deal of pride in their reputation. They won't stand for some unknowing thief belittling them. That much is obvious from the fact that they reward this large. They don't care if he's captured alive or dead. Perhaps Leonhardt is stationed here in anticipation for what will transpire. He may want to capture the target himself and bring him to the authorities. If I'm assuming correctly, I'm sure the man believes strongly in the law. Captain Leonhardt, he was always deadly serious when I was working as a royal alchemist. Count, you may be correct in that assumption. I look over at Leonhardt, thinking back at our past interaction. You got a problem? You want to fight? Shut up, cretin. I can't hear what he's saying. They're still messing with him. From this point on, we request that you take positions guarding the items up for auction tonight. Catching the thief is worth 10 million. Catch him alive, and we'll double it. 20 million. Gruff cheers rise up throughout the crowd. Why so much to capture him alive? As you said before, they'll torture and then kill him, making an example of other would-be thieves. Why you don't mess with London firm. Torture? That's something painful, right? Pain beyond imagining. It seems that the thief is in for a miserable fate if we hand him over. I don't feel good about earning money at the expense of someone's life. Let's quit then. What? The Count responds without hesitation. I'm not fond of the way these people think. Were it a simple capture, I would have not said anything. But, as you said, any money we make here will be tainted by blood. Although we are here to the actions of Lupin and the others, I cannot accept money earned in such a barbaric manner. But do we really need the we do really need the money? Yes, so just this once I will extend a loan to you. You can take your time to repay me someday. You mean you're gonna cover our living expenses? Just until you're all able to acquire a decent income through the other means. Oh man, Sadie G, you are the best! I guess this defeats the purpose of us coming here then. A murder is set to a murder to set an example. The auction venue echo was the shouts of greed-fueled glee. I can't help but feel depressed, knowing that someone will be killed, even if that someone is bad. Don't worry, you'll still be taking part in this hunt. What? If our money problems are solved for now, what is the point in taking part in this? I'm going to set a condition for the loan I'm about to give you. You must catch the thief alive, and anonymously hand him over to Mr. Leonhardt. If you successfully accomplish this, I will support your living expenses for the time being. We all look at one another in response. That's some high road you're taking there. What's gotten into you? Ah, nothing. I just thought of it as a whim. I am an eccentric nobleman after all. It's writing. Oh, good job! The Count walks over to the seats and waits for the auction to start. There we go. However, the kind-hearted young lady staying with us looks sad. It might have had something to do with that. He quietly says this to me as he passes me by. Also, Saint Germain, you hypocrite. Next item up for bid is the Golden Aztec Crown. Not only is this fine headpiece crafted from the purest gold, it has a history with bringing good fortune to its owner. Observe the detailed ornamentation, the refined sensibility and outstanding craftsmanship of this ancient culture. 1 million! 2 million! I hear 2 million. 2 million. Is there any other bids? 5 million! The murmurs of surprise are up to this bid. The rich, trying to one-up each other for appearances. How petty. Oh, we agree for once. I feel the same way. I take it back. Why do you hate me so? The bounty hunters observe the auction from the corner of the venue. Everyone seems to have their own agenda as they lurk in the darkness, waiting for the moment to arrive. This many people after the thief, are you sure they won't get a head start on us? Sorry, had to get some water. I'm not concerned about that. The thief in question is easily evaded, as an even greater number of guards on his last heist. Yep, we are. Oh no, I closed it! Shoot! Bring me back to the chat! Pop out the chat! Oh no, I accidentally X'd out the chat! Just sit it here. There we go. I'm sure that there are a few highly skilled men in this crowd, but I don't believe they'll be able to capture him. I see. Where'd you get all that information? I simply asked around while we were waiting. Considering this thief's methods of attack, we won't have much to do until the appointed time. Just as Van Helsing says, there's no indication of the thief's presence. It's almost 10 p.m. and nothing's happened. And finally, behold tonight's main item. This is Nosferatu's saber. A woman pushes a cart into the stage. Set atop is a sparkling golden pendant in the shape of a dagger. Even though I'm no connoisseur of the arts, I can tell that this is worth a lot from just one glance at the craftsmanship. If it's only a few million, I wouldn't mind paying that much for such a beauty. Count, it's nice that you're looking into the worth of the piece, but don't forget why we're here. This priceless antique is said to have been worn by Delacroix, leader of the vampire forces in the infamous Vampire War. It is also said that it is also said that the belongings of vampires hold special power, and that by wearing them, they will grant you powers, astounding physical capabilities, or even effects such as rejuvenation and longevity. Because this necklace belonged to the king of vampires, I'm sure its effects will be most extraordinary. I don't usually have an interest in items sold outside the law, but that pendant is strangely enticing. It excites the antique collector in me. Wow, I've never seen you controlled by greed before. That's an unexpected side. It's gonna be the vampire baby! Yep! The action seems to be proceeding smoothly. At that moment, a sign, humans! Do not touch that with your filthy hands! As I announced, I am gracing you with my presence to take back what is mine. And excited voices echo through the area. In reaction to the words take back, the waiting bounty hunters all leap into action and take out their weapons. Is it him? The thief, where is he? Over there, by the tent entrance! One man stands up and points behind us. There's a small figure standing in the dimly lit entrance of the tent. That's a child? Whoever it is strides forward without faltering and raises his voice once he reaches the very center of the tent. Baby! Stand aside, fools! I'm here to reclaim that which is rightfully mine! He's a kid, right? Doesn't look like some kind of master thief to me. At his comment, the others around him start buzzing, and soon the conversation shifts to laughter and ridicule. Hey kid, this is no place for someone like you. Go home to your mommy. The boy's size approaches him as he tries to shoo him off. I am no mere child. I have come to take treasure from you lowly humans. Didn't you get my letter? The boy shows no sign of backing down, however he raises his voice even more. The men around him begin shouting insults at the man who had approached the boy. Hey now, how you gonna handle the thief if you can't even get a little kid to go home? Idiot, he's talking circles around you. Fine. Little boys who don't listen to their elders need to be punished, don't they? The man slowly raises his arm. Are you challenging me to battle? You're gonna regret this. You'd better watch your mouth. The boy's in danger! My feet start to move despite myself, but Van Helsing grabs my shoulder. Don't go over there. This is dangerous. But don't misunderstand me. It's the man who's in danger. What? I only took my eyes off them for a second, but the man is suddenly high in the air. A second later, he thuds to the ground. What the hell did you do? I just gave him a little tap with my fist. Now, who else wants to fly? Who is that child? He's a vampire. What? Vampires. A subrace that possesses extraordinary physical capabilities that other humans can't even match. Is he one? Hold on. He can't be that strong, even if the kid is some vampire. I could give you a detailed explanation, but we don't seem to have the time for it. Man, it's our future child. We need to get him. We gotta save our boy. Just as Van Helsing says, the boy gracefully leaps onto the stage while the others around him are dumbfounded. Hear me, humans. I am the king of the night, the leader of Nosferatu in the heir of the Delacroix name. I am Delacroix too. A vampire! The blood heir to Delacroix? He's here to get revenge on humanity. As soon as they hear his name, the people in the crowd begin to scream. The audience panics, and the people begin to flee and run about. Why is everyone so upset? It's true, the boy did show extraordinary strength, but the people here seem to be afraid of something else. Vampires have been the object of fear for a long time. A few years ago, humanity found a way to exterminate the vampires. Thus began the purge of the vampire subrace, known as the Vampire War. Even though the war is over, the people of Britain have always been living under the specter of fear. That if there were any surviving vampires, that they would try and take revenge. That is the gist of it. Uh, As promised, I shall take this. He shouts at the top of his voice and tucks the pendant into his coat. He's got it! We just have to catch him, that's all. The men climb onto the stage and point their guns at the young boy. Don't move, kid. One step and you'll have more holes in you than Swiss cheese. Really? Why don't you try? Aim for his legs. We'll split the prize money. Got it. I hear gunshots, however the boy doesn't look hurt. We definitely hit him. Why isn't he wounded? Idiots. I evaded the bullets, obviously. Don't be stupid. There's not a human alive who could dodge a bullet from this close. I see. Unfortunately for you, I'm not human. The boy takes a fighting stance, and in an instant all the men but one have fallen to the ground. No way! The last man collapses, and a profound silence fills the room. The boy turns to the audience. There's hatred in his eyes. Hatred so great it feels suffocating just to witness. Fear me, humans! This is our anger and our pain. I will proclaim here and now, the vampire lineage will never forgive you. I promise, the suffering pain endured by our people will equally be shared upon all of you. Those words cause panic in the audience to reach new heights, and screams only grow louder. The child on stage watches and laughs and then disappears behind the curtain. Let's go. Where? That child. It's hard to tell where he'll do when left on his own. It probably won't be long before he starts attacking people. I can see it in his eyes. We need to stop him. Van Helsing begins running to the stage. Wait, Van Helsing! I try and follow him, but Lupin grabs me by the hand. Hold on, calm down. That little guy's too fast for us. We'll never catch up to him. And it's very unlike Van Helsing. He doesn't usually get that heated. I wonder what's gotten into him. Aren't we going after him? Don't worry. Even though he's got an attitude, he's one of us. We won't desert him. Let's go ahead of them and wait. Can we really get ahead of them? We don't even know which way they went. Leave it to me. I have faith in Arsene Lupin, first-class gentleman thief. Lupin starts running and we follow him out of the tent in a rush. We leave the auction venue behind. Soon we're headed into a nearby forest where we'd met Van Helsing for the first time. Hey, Lupin, what makes you think they came this way? It's like you ran off in some random direction. They've got to be here. It seems that kid is working alone. No matter how strong you are, it's impossible to outrun a large organization like the London firm. Lupin, I need my future baby. I need to get my son. I'll try and hide somewhere for sure. And this forest is the most accessible hiding place around. I've come here before, too. I see. You're thinking about it from a perspective of a criminal. Very impressive, and worthy of a gentleman thief. Yeah, I hear footsteps. They're close. We're almost on top of them. Lupin speeds up and we do our best to keep up with him. We break through the bushes into a clearing. The boy before is standing there, dumbfounded. What's this? Did you follow me here? I'm surprised that there are humans capable of keeping up with me. Still, I'm not giving back the pendant, and I won't let you capture me either. We look at each other. If it belonged to your father, then we have no business trying to take it away from you. And it doesn't sit right with us to hand you over to the London firm. Then why are you following me? You don't want the pendant back, and you don't want to capture me. I don't see what the point was. We'd like you to turn yourself in. Not to London firm, of course. We know someone at the yard who can be trusted. You can explain your situation to him, and you'll be handled appropriately there. It's not your place to decide. Humans are all the same to me. Stand in my way and I won't hold back. Just as Van Helsing said, it's impossible to tell what he'll do. That expression of hatred, he might harm someone else later on. But from how he fought earlier, we don't stand a chance against him. Lupin, I have an idea. I take persuade him. There's no way we're gonna stop him if we try using force. That only leaves... Don't worry, we're not gonna hurt you. We're on your side. I have little reason to believe that, human. You're likely just after the reward. If you murder a human and taint your hands with blood, then you won't... Then, as you say you will, then we won't hesitate to capture you. However, if you're still undecided, I have a suggestion. Why don't you come back to my mansion for a nice cup of tea? You might be able to make a better decision once you've calmed down. My mind is already clear. I politely decline your offer. Listen, I got a dog. The boy shakes his head and takes a fighting stance. Suddenly we hear footsteps from behind. I turn around and see Van Helsing. You caught up! Van Helsing says nothing, glaring silently at the boy before us. You... It's been a while, son of the dragon. I left that name behind. I've taken on the name of my father. I see. So do you want me to call you Delacroix too, instead, Dracula? Do these two know each other? I'm about to ask when, in an instant, Delacroix slides close to Van Helsing and swings his fist. Van Helsing blocks the punch with his gun. But the force of the impact causes him to jump back to avoid falling over. How dare you! You dare show yourself in front of me? Have you no shame? Keep going this way and you'll fall into the darkness, just like me. You have no right to talk, Van Helsing. The attack is intense. The boy throws a storm of punches too fast for the human eye, but Van Helsing calmly blocks them. I'll kill you. I swear it. Unfortunately, I can't die quite yet. Van Helsing swings his gun, but Delacroix jumps back to avoid the strike. The two glare at each other. There's no room for anyone to intervene. But I found them! Over here! We hear the other bounty hunters closing in. They finally caught up. Delacroix looks away for a moment. Van Helsing, I'll wait for you at the place where you murdered my father. If you do not come, I will hunt you down and kill you, and every last person who is important to you. And the same goes for the rest of you. Everyone. Oh! His eyes are full of murderous intent. And he glares at me. I can't help myself but taking a few steps backwards. Our paths have crossed for too long. We shall bring an end to this. With that, he disappears in the night before anyone can do anything to stop him. All that remains is angry shouting from the men searching for him, and our own confusion. Several hours later, and we return to the mansion. Delacroix disappeared into the forest without being captured. The auction organizers placed even grander bounty on him, and the greedy hunters hooted and shouted in excitement. Once we came back to the mansion, Van Helsing announced that he'd need some fresh air and went outside. It's already midnight, but no one seems to want to retire to their own room yet. I'm sure we're all thinking the same thing. What did Van Helsing do in the past? Oh jeez, okay, like my guy, I was going to come, but alright, you don't gotta hurt Cardia, so please don't kill me. Did he murder that boy's father? If so, why'd he do such a thing? There's so many questions, but I can't tell if it's my place to ask him outright. The silence is finally broken by the Count. We must come to a decision. What? Confront him directly and urge him to change his mind? Or make sure that he doesn't harm us in the future? The latter option is probably a gentle way of suggesting that we kill him. That gentle is wrong. I assume as much, but I can't bring myself to ask for clarification. That's easy for you to say, but he's just a kid, you know? I can't bring myself to fight him. Me too. He seemed to have his reasons for doing what he did. You're right, but Delacroix came right out and said that he would kill us. We need to think of something. Yeah. Either way, we can't just stand around and wait to be killed. Let's try and find out his lair tomorrow. Lair? Do you mean the place the boy spoke of regarding his encounter with Van Helsing? I'm fine with heading over there, but where is it? Isn't Van Helsing the only one who would know? Yes, and this is Van Helsing's personal problem. Do you think he would be willingly let us accompany him? That is entirely up to him. If he says no, then that's that. In any case, let's call it quits for today. Whatever we decide to do, we need to rest before we do it. Lupin is the first to leave the room. If B.C., Jermaine, and Victor eventually all head up to their own rooms. As for me, for some reason, I don't want to go to bed just yet, so I remain in my chair. Wonder how long I've been sitting in this chair. I sit in the quiet, deserted lounge with my eyes closed. I hear a noise and raise my head to see Victor standing in the open door. Hey, you're up pretty late. Aren't you going to bed? So many thoughts keep coming up in my mind, so I can't sleep. What about you? I'm... It's the same for me. I was thinking about Van Helsing and that kid. Delacroix? Yeah, I looked into all the incidents he's caused up until now. Every object he's targeted was originally part of the royal vampire's family fortune. What? That means he wasn't stealing. He was just taking back some stolen vampire fortune and the mementos of his people. Stand aside, fools. I am here to reclaim which is rightfully mine. Is that true? Van Helsing probably... I'm sure he knows what's going on. There's nobody who knows about the extermination of the vampires better than him. Victor, do you know Van Helsing well? No, only what's on the surface. He was the hero of the Vampire War 2 years ago. It's said that his actions brought the Vampire War to an end quickly, and the army only suffered a few losses. He raided the lair of the vampires who were threatening humanity, and killed the Vampire King, Delacroix, along with his entire clan. That pretty much ended the war, aside from hunting down the stragglers. Was that all necessary? Victor slowly shakes his head. We were all told that vampires were trying to wipe out humanity. I don't know for myself if that is actually true. But I can say one thing for sure. War is nothing but formalized murder. It has no justice. I notice Victor's hands are clenched tightly into fists. Victor, what's the matter? Oh, it's just that I was a royal alchemist, understand? The war feels very personal to me. Victor's tone makes me think as he's avoiding the truth. But I don't think Van Helsing is so cold that he can just so casually kill someone. And I think that those heroic actions he's been praised for are far from the truth. Yes, I think so too. Sorry for keeping you so long. I'm gonna go up to bed now. You should do the same. Thanks. Victor smiles and gives me a little wave as he leaves. He's such a good boy. I still can't sleep though, so I head outside the mansion. I do have one reason for doing so. I saw Van Helsing through the window, and I couldn't help but come out after him. Wonder where he went. I know I saw him right here. I feel that if I can see him... The thoughts that stir up my emotions like Van Helsing's past and Delacroix too's hateful gaze somehow soothed. Or will somehow soothe. Oh! I find him. He doesn't seem to be doing anything, just standing there, deep in thought. I'm about to call out to him, then I see that somehow sorrowful state he's in and I hesitate. I love Victor, he's a good boy. Victor is a very good boy. Oh, it's you. What are you doing at this time of night? Van Helsing notices me before I can make up my mind to speak. Tell me about your past, boy. Give me them digits. I want to ask you about something personal. Can't stop thinking about it. Tell me about your past. Why did you murder? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Uh, that boy, Delacroix too. Did you kill his father? Van Helsing falls silent for a while. For some reason, the silence begins to frighten me. Yes, it's true. I killed him. I don't know Van Helsing very well, but the simple admission eloquently conveyed the immense weight he bears on his chest. I see. It's the undeniable truth that I took that boy's father away from him. His words are stern, distant. He's telling me the complete, unbridged truth, but he doesn't look my way at all. It feels like he's telling me that I have no business talking about this with him. It's late. Go to bed and rest up. He turns back to the mansion and says this. Oh, it's you. You alright, Cardia? Tell me your past. I gotta know your social security number. I need to steal your identity. I have your credit card. I just need the last numbers. He turns to the mansion as he says this. I can't respond to him at all and merely watch him as he walks away. When you walk away, you don't hear me say. And I enter my room. Cece comes up to me, wagging his tail. Oh, I'm sorry, Cece. That's right. We always sleep together. Were you worried about me? Everything's fine. Let's go to bed. Cece hops on the end of the bed and curls up. I feel the weight of this small body up on my feet, and I close my eyes. Van Helsing, Delacroix, my father, and me. Stuff's messed up, yo. I think about all kinds of things, but the conclusion I ultimately arrive is simply, everyone probably lives under the burden of all the different events of their past. What burden am I carrying? It's with this thought that I gradually fall asleep. Cece, what are you hiding? The next day, the train slowly leaves the station. We're headed to the place where Delacroix too is waiting for us. According to Van Helsing, it is far north of London, all the way to Scotland. It's at least a 1 day's journey away. In the end, we all decided that we would travel together. Van Helsing has no objections to our request to accompany him. Van Helsing and Delacroix too. Do they mean to continue fighting until one of them falls? One having lost his family and the other having taken it away. Even this is the path that they've chosen for themselves. All I can think of is whether there is a way to avoid Van Helsing's death, and the death of Delacroix too. The weather doesn't look very good. It appears that we might be in for some rain. I look outside the window. Ominous gray clouds cover the sky. Feels like foreshadowing the events to come, and I avert my eyes from them. At that point, until we arrive, no one says much. We just spend our time either looking out the window or reading. The boy's father died during the Vampire War. He says Van Helsing killed him. Is something wrong? Without realizing it, I'd been staring at Van Helsing. Oh, yes, it seems like you haven't slept much, so I was wondering if you're alright. I see. I'm fine. You should follow the example of the others and get some rest. With those few words, our conversation comes to an end. I wonder what he's thinking right now. Talk you, Sundere! We're out deep within the forest. We arrive at the right station at dawn, but there's still one journey ahead. It's already sunset. The sun's going to set soon. Are we almost at the place you're heading for? Just a little further. We'll walk through the woods in silence. Van Helsing? Silence. But I don't back down and keep talking. What are you going to do to that boy? If the only options are to kill or to be killed, what is he going to come here to do? Who can say? He doesn't give a clear answer and starts walking even faster. We walk for 2 more hours. I'm sorry, but when the game said she was staring at big old eyes, Cardia stopped staring at me with them big old eyes. suddenly opened up around us and the trees are replaced by a tall building. Whoa, this is pretty amazing. Wow, it's a huge mansion. It looks old. The history of the vampire race is long, and they have lived in a number of regions. This is most likely one of their bases. I don't know how to put it, but it's huge and amazing, and it has a melancholy feeling about it. Now that he mentions it, the castle does have a certain sadness. Is that boy waiting for us all by himself in that mansion that used to stand with such dignity in the past? Let's go. Van Helsing sets off and we follow. Our footsteps echo in the hall. While the interior is in disrepair, it's not as bad as the decrepit exterior. It's hard to believe how run down this place is. Impy says this in a soft voice, sounding sadder than I expected. I turn around. Impy, have you been here before? Nope, I've never been here, but there's just something about it. Impy, were you questioning why Delacroix 2 was so strong? Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, he's a vampire, but he's just a kid. Anyone would think it's strange. I'll clear it up for you. Delacroix 2 is a pureblood. Pureblood? The vampire race were a reclusive, but humans, after all, are the ones who determine the state of the world. Because vampires are so similar in nature to them, they could not remain completely detached from human society. As time passed, a group of vampires deepened their relationships with humans, and their blood began to mix. I see. I suppose love knows no bounds, even species. Call it whatever you'd like. As the relations with humans grew stronger, those who were against it became a minority within the overall population. There are those who simply detest humans or cited vampiric pride. The reasons varied, but all of them possessed incredible physical abilities that vampires originally had. I see. So the reason the kid is so strong is because he has no human blood in him. Which means that might be probably the norm of the past. Vampires used to be the source of fear in humans. I can see why. But ultimately, those who chose not to mingle with humans naturally disappeared. Source of fear, huh? Victor Impy Lupin St. Germain. Wow, this place looks cool, man. I'm looking for some place in his head. Oh my god. Oh, poor Van. And Helsing continues to speak as he walks. He's close. He'll be at the place where I murdered the vampire king, Delacroix. We suddenly enter an open space, a large room the size of a great hall. I see a wide, luxurious staircase and elaborate chandeliers. Although everything looks worn down now, their presence speaks of the past splendor in this mansion. And then... I've been waiting for you, Van Helsing. Sitting at the center of the stairs is the pure-blooded vampire, as if he'd been waiting this whole time. I shall have your head in this place, where my father spent his last moments. We all tense up at these hateful words. However, without hesitation, Van Helsing steps forward without even drawing his guns. Van Helsing? Stand back and watch. Oh, are you sure you don't need our help? This is my problem to deal with. You can all stay back here. Oh, you came over Ratoon, but don't seek their help. I don't care if all of you attack me at once. It's just a matter of having more dead bodies to clean up afterwards. You sure enjoy talking, Delacroix. Do you fear me? Why don't you go ahead and kill me if you hate me that much? That is, if you can. In the tense atmosphere, the air around the boy seems to swirl. Very well. He brushes his cape back and raises his fist. Don't think I'm the same as before. I've been training endlessly for the sole purpose of ending your life. My father's regret, my mother's misery, and my people's anger will all be avenged here and now. Here I come, Van Helsing! His speed enables him to close the 10 steps between them in an instant. As we expected, Delacroix 2's special abilities are extraordinary. You take me for a fool. You don't even have your guns out. Van Helsing takes every one of the boy's punches without so much as a change in his expression. Angsty boy fight. What's the matter? Aren't you going to fight back? You. How far must your mockery go? Van Helsing brushes aside an unending stream of punches and kicks, doing nothing but fighting defensively. But how is Van Helsing able to block these attacks so easily? For what I saw at the auction, the child's fist hold a tremendous amount of power. Is it even possible for this many blows, even though there's not that many at all to be direct hits? He isn't taking the force of his foe's attacks head on. Gant speaks out as he's reading my mind. The hits aren't hitting him directly, and then he's able to skillfully avert them in different directions to lessen the impact. Oh! But that method of fighting is probably something only Van Helsing can do. No normal person would be able to react to Delacroix's attacks this way. His reputation as a human weapon is earned. Does that mean both of them are superhuman beings above what range is considered to be normal? I suddenly recall my past being called a monster and being hated. For some reason, this scene before me of two people fighting for their lives looks sad to me. Are you sure he doesn't need help? There's probably no need. But do you want to give the kid a pat? We both need pats. But we're not going to abandon him, just it's not what Van Helsing wants, and I'm sure he has some sort of plan. If we think he's in dire danger, we'll go in and help. We won't take no for an answer. Until then, we should stay out. Just like Van Helsing says, this is probably something that he needs to tackle on his own. Something he has to do for himself. Don't worry, Van Helsing is strong, and I believe he has a good heart. He'll figure out a way. Okay. I nod hesitantly at Victor's points. As we watch the fighting progress, it all changes suddenly. Ugh! Van Helsing sinks his fist in the boy's abdomen. Van Helsing wastes no opportunity when his opponent loses his balance and delivers a blow to Delacroix's head with his elbow. The boy jumps back in defense, however. By that time, Van Helsing has his two shotguns on and is already pointed at Delacroix. Move and I'll shoot. The tables have completely turned from his defensive fighting earlier. The hunter and the hunted. The tense silence fills the space between them. So, I can easily avoid anything you try and shoot at me. Would you like to try it? If you do, it'll cost you your life. Hi, Freddy! You yourself have already understand. You are far weaker than your late father. You can't defeat me. Then shoot. I only seek your surrender. I had no intention of harming you from the start. Aruko, hi! What is the meaning of this? Why would you show me mercy now that it's far too late? I'm done playing, but I'm too tired to watch this stream now. I'm happy to see you both having fun. Oh, that's okay. I'm glad you had fun. You just take it easy. I'm warning you. Don't move. Then why didn't you show us mercy 2 years ago? I don't want to shoot you. If it wasn't for you, Mother and Father would still be alive. The boy leaps forward. I gulp at the dull bloom of a gunshot. Delacroix is rolling on the floor, as if he'd been thrown back. I warned you. Then a single drop of blood stains his clothes. Instead there are white shards. I immediately realize what they are. Rock salt. Van Helsing had no intention of killing the boy from the very beginning. I'll kill you. Even after being shot, Delacroix stands up. Van Helsing fires another shotgun blast and the vampire falls to the ground. I won't. I'm gonna take it easy, I promise. I will destroy you and everything you hold dear. Even then, Delacroix tries to stand up once again. Ah! Delacroix screams as the gunshots continue. Stay down. I will get my revenge, no matter what. I will never forgive you for betraying my parents' kindness. His body is blown away like an old rag and rolls across the floor. Van Helsing! That's enough, Van Helsing! Seems like Delacroix has finally lost the strength to withstand more gunshots and has stopped moving. His face is twisted in pain. It should be clear that you're no match for me, Delacroix. There's no way you can defeat me with your capabilities. And stop stealing treasures. Humans can be more cruel than you can imagine. Joke's on you, kid. I am the person. I have nothing. No, it's okay. Don't be sorry. You didn't do anything wrong. If you don't stay on your toes, you're gonna be consumed someday. Give up trying to take revenge on the whole human race. I will never forgive you, Van Helsing. Not you. Not ever. Yes, I'm the one deserving of your ire. Van Helsing stands and looks down at the boy for a long time. But you can't kill me just yet. There's still something I must do. But once it's all over, I'd gladly give you myself to be killed. I deserve that much. Van Helsing! Delacroix too. My death must put an end to your quest for revenge. Don't turn your hate on anyone else. Delacroix slowly rises to his knees, shaking. He apparently has no more strength to resist, and Van Helsing lowers his guns. What is the meaning of this? Are you trying to atone for your crime? I will not let that happen. You can't hold out a helping hand and pretend you're good. Just kill me. I could never face my mother and father, knowing that I accepted your sympathy. I don't need to kill you. Kill me. Yeah, it's suffering time. The boy crumbles to the ground. I forgot how good his crying is. For a while, his crying is the only thing that breaks the silence within the hall. Outside, thunder roars in the distance, dully echoing in through the house. I don't know the truth behind the war 2 years ago, or what war is really like. I only have knowledge from books I've read. I don't understand war very well. But to me, Delacroix too and Van Helsing both look like victims carrying the weight of their sadness from these events. Yep! A huge mansion has gone to ruin. He was probably living here alone all these past 2 years, just like I had been in Wales. No, his pain is far greater than mine. Hatred that he can't do anything about, and anger that burns through him. His suffering must have been immense. I speak hesitantly. Do you think we could possibly bring him back with us? Him? You mean Delacroix? What? Guardia! Wouldn't that be impossible? That kid's been saying he wants to kill us. It never even crossed my mind as an option. I've got to say I'm against it. I can't agree to it either. His presence puts us all in too much of a risk to be acceptable. As expected, everyone disagrees. I could tell that Delacroix, leaning on the staircase to support himself, was quietly looking at me. Cardia, why do you want to do that? You must have a reason. Now that Lupin's asked, I start to explain my reasons little by little. The voice acting is very good in this game. It's like super good. I think it must be very lonely for him to stay here all by himself. I think that's very sad. At first I didn't realize it because being alone seemed so natural to me. But now that I look back, the years I was alone were very painful and trying time in my life. I try to explain myself, but the words aren't coming out and I get frustrated. I think there's a lot of things he won't see or understand. Not as long as he remains here. That's why he's my son! That's why he's my son! That's why I want you to come with us. I think things will start to look differently to you with a change of scenery. Does that sound crazy? Cardia? Yes, that certainly does sound outlandish. Delacroix suddenly starts talking. Why are you so desperate to help me? You don't even know me. So why would you say something like this? As if you cared. His gaze is sharp, searching for answers. I look directly back at him, staring into his eyes. My life has been nothing but as difficult as yours, but I know a little bit about loneliness. That's why I want to try and do something about that. Even though I know it's a dangerous situation, I also know the pain of losing parents. He remained silent for a long time. So you presume to know how I feel, and now you're trying to save me. Your options are worthless. I'm sorry. Delacroix takes a breath and looks around the hall before turning to me again. This place is a mausoleum of my people, my family. A tomb needs a keeper. I cannot leave this place behind. Isn't revenge your only desire? Van Helsing suddenly speaks up. Then for the sake of those who rest here, you must keep an eye on me. So that when all is said and done, I won't just change my mind and take off. Kill me someday. Then you can return here with that act as your memorial to them. Can I trust you, Van Helsing? Yes. I don't believe that something as small as this will atone for my crime. But right now, that's about as much as I can offer you. Van Helsing falls silent. Delacroix doesn't say anything either and simply stares at him. There's a long silence. Finally, a soft voice. Fine. I will come with you. Elsewhere, Finnis stares up at the ceiling of St. Paul's Cathedral. The moonlight is tinted by the stained glass windows, spraying colored light across the floor. I'll make sure to catch up on the streamers to start later. I see we're getting into some good parts. Yes, we are! We are actually almost through the chapters where you kind of lean towards which path you want to go. And then once it hits to a certain point, it'll go on to its own separate path. So we're almost there. I know we have one other big thing to do, and then I think it goes on to the one where it splits off into the different paths. And the nice thing about this game is you can just choose to go to that chapter where it splits off into paths, and you can just choose who you want to, so you don't have to start from the very beginning again. He can't help but smile. The magnificence and beauty of his father Isaac Beckford so loved brings him peace of mind. When he's here, in this place, he feels like he's communing with his father. He hears footsteps from behind and turns around and finds Alistair. Finnis. It seems there's a report concerning the location of what you've been searching for. I see. It took them quite a while this time. After the train incident and all, I'm starting to think Twilight is understaffed. You can be sarcastic if you wish, but that won't get you any results. Sarcasm? Come now, Alistair. I trust you. You make an amazing lackey. That's what I'm talking about right there. So, where are they? Reports say somewhere in London, which means that they pretty much don't have a clue to where they are. You called that a report? I take back what I said about you being an amazing subordinate. Say what you'd like. Granted, they have a master escape artist on their side, but it seems something more is imposing us. Alistair strokes his beard and takes a deep breath before continuing. We're doing our best to find them. Don't be so hard on us. I don't need excuses. I need you to pull out all the stops in your search. We're at the final preparations of our plan. As you wish, I must excuse myself. I have an early lecture in the university tomorrow. Oh, Alistair, there's one more thing I need to ask you. Alistair, who's already turned off to walk away, stops and looks back. What is it? Back on the train, you intentionally let Van Helsing live, didn't you? You could have killed him if you wanted. Why didn't you? Was it because he was your apprentice when you were a member of Twilight? I didn't think that a genius like you would let a potential source of future trouble off the hook in that situation. Well, well, I didn't think you thought so highly of me. The reason, though, is quite simple. I was taken aback by the ball of fireworks. When I looked back, he was already gone. That's all there was to it. Oh, really? Is my explanation unsatisfying? Fine, if you say so. I must say, it's a bit of a relief to find out that you're not completely heartless. But remember this, I rarely give out second chances, and I never give out thirds. Right. I'll make sure to not forget that. Alistair bows slightly and then melts into the darkness and disappears. He is in a good mood, and so much after that he doesn't mind Alistair's blunder. Soon he can see his sister and become one with her. That was his father's very wish. He will carry out his father's will. Watch me, father. His laugh echoes eerily through the acoustics of the cathedral. Are we already on the next chapter? Yeah. Negotiated solution. What is this one? I'm trying to remember what this one is. He runs with all his strength through the empty wilderness, a wasteland with no living things in sight. Oh, it's this one! Okay, now I know which one this one is. He runs through the charnel fields of death. Oh yeah, we're hitting some of Victor's backstory. I forgot about that. A dense fog sticks to his body. He flings off the gas mask he's wearing and covers his pale face with his hands. Oh, why? How could such a thing? He escaped from a mountain of corpses, from that massive pile of unmoving bodies. What have I done? Unable to remain on his feet, he crashes to his knees. What cruelty! The scene is burned into his mind. A small child reaching out for help and dying on the spot. It was nothing less than hell. And the person responsible for that hell is none other than himself. It's all my fault. He feels his mind will break, faced with the truth that he cannot accept. He continues to scream until the rain that begins to drown out every trace of his voice. He bolts upright in his bed, his hands clenching the sweat-soaked sheets. A dream. His heart hammering, seeming to echo loudly in silence. He presses tightly against his chest and squeezes out a gasping statement. That's right. I can never be forgiven. Blue sky fills the window outside. Now things are happy. Morning light lances between the clouds and caresses his face, and he turns away. It's such a nice day. Nothing sad now. It's been about a week since the vampire Delacroix 2 joined the mission. Even so, being a kill or be killed basis with him, we have yet to fully warm up to each other. See you on Discord, sorry to understand what's going on so far. Yeah, you did just kind of wander in on this. It's okay. Naturally, it isn't good for our hearts and minds to close this gap between us. For now, the fact that he stopped attacking innocent, unrelated people has been an adequate improvement for us. Cece, let's go to breakfast. Cece responds with enthusiasm. Later, Saint Germain has been helping us with the living expenses for the past few days. However, this is only temporary, and we are all determined to find a source of income. We all have our own ideas for how to overcome this financial dilemma and spending less and less to finding practical work. Maybe I can start a side job at home to help everyone out. I have ideas about this, but I have to wear gloves, and I'm discouraged that I won't be able to do any detailed work. Touch my chest without thinking about it. The horologium. It acts as my heart, and that makes me a monster. Someday, will I someday be able to get rid of my body that the poison flows through it? Monster! I can still vividly remember those words. Malice, hatred, hostility, and fear. I was attacked in the past by words that cut as sharp as knives, and by emotions that penetrated deep as any bullet. Woof. Cece barks and I return to the present. He's looking up at my face as if concerned about me. No, I'm fine. Let's go, Cece. He barks heartedly at this, making me smile despite how I feel at the moment. Today's victuals have been as delicious as always, Impy. That's great to hear, but with only preserved foods, the selection becomes really limited. Oh, are you unsatisfied with these results? The meals of late have been far from boring as far as I'm concerned. That's the matter of principle. As a genius chef, I want to be able to provide a good variety of dishes. Ah, since when have you been a genius chef? As I recall correctly, I thought you were a genius engineer. I really enjoyed the meals you make for us, Impy. Thanks, but only amateurs wait for the audience to get tired before changing. A first-class chef must always be creative. I see. What do you think, Van Helsing? I look over at him and see that he hasn't touched much of his meal. Van Helsing, aren't you hungry? Don't mind me. You haven't been eating much lately. Have you tired of my tastes already? Does my cooking bore you? No, it's all delicious. The flavors are so delicate that I find it hard to believe that you were the cook. Is that a compliment or an insult? It's a compliment, obviously. It's the greatest praise I have to offer. Your appetite seems to have decreased since Delacroix came to the mansion. Are you that worried about him? He looks away without another word. I can't help but clam my mouth shut. I can't jump into whatever issues between Van Helsing and Delacroix. Was it a mistake to invite the young vampire to our home without thinking about it? He hasn't appeared for breakfast again. I'm worried about his condition. He seems to be eating. The plates I take to his room are always cleaned off. And I'm planning to take this morning's meal to his room again. I see. That's good to know. Does it make you feel better, Van Helsing? What? I didn't say anything. The problems with Delacroix's side. Victor, you've been awfully quiet. You look so serious, too. Do you have a stomachache or something? Who? Me? No, nothing's wrong. You do seem down, Victor. Really? Sorry if I seem that way. I don't feel sick or anything like that. Victor smiles while he says this, but he still seems a little out of it. It also seems that Lupin has been running around to a number of different locations recently. I haven't seen him lately. We haven't had the opportunity for all of us to gather at the dining table together. Now that he mentions it, everyone has been busy with their own things, or has some sort of reason to be by themselves. I think the last time we were all present for a meal was before we started chasing Delacroix. I got it. Chef Impy will lay out a great feast tonight. Why? Why? To raise the energy levels around here. Stuffing yourself with good food makes anyone happy. A feast? That actually might be a good idea. Cooking, eh? That sounds like a perfect way to blow off steam. Impy, let me cook too. Sure, that's fine, but you sure you're able to make anything that turns out to be edible? Who do you think I am? I know what I'm doing. Leave it to me. I see. I know she told me, but you really do love to cook, huh? I wouldn't have really expected that of you at all. I'm looking forward to trying out the dishes from you both. NP's sudden suggestion has cleared up the gloomy air surrounding the dining table, and a peaceful atmosphere comes in. And then we'll have Deli join us. It will all be a party. NP mentions an unfamiliar name. Who's Deli? Oh, Delicrox. I got sick of saying his full name all the time, so I figured Deli works. Deli. I try it out. It's much easier than calling him Delicrox 2 all the time. Deli. I think that's a nice nickname that suits his adorable appearance. It's another matter entirely whether he likes the potential subquit or not. Yes, if Deli says it's okay, then I think I'll start calling him that. MP, you said you could create a feast earlier. Do you have the ingredients to complete a task like that? We're still in poor financial state. If we don't have the money to spend, we won't be able to make a satisfying meal. These are tough times. You can stop worrying about the money. We turn around at the sudden comment. Oh, hello, Lupin. Hey, guys. What's wrong with you all? You all look like hell. Where have you been? Nobody's seen you for the past few days. We've all been worried. Well, I had some things to deal with. Apologies for not telling you in advance, but here are the funds for our future activities. Lupin turns a heavy-looking bag over the table and mountains of bills fall out. Lupin! Where did you get all this? Oh my, that certainly is a heap of money. It's just a bit of a handling fee. All this from a handling fee! I don't really have a good grasp on money yet. This seems... But is this much enough to solve our troubles? Our troubles are long gone. With this much, we can even buy ourselves an airship. An airship? I have no idea how much one of those would cost, but if MP seems that excited about it, they're probably very valuable. Then our money problems are over? Seems that way. I see, that's great news. But, Lupin, this money, did you come by it honestly? Of course, mademoiselle. I swear on my name, Arsene Lupin. He smiles at me while he says this. And I didn't earn this money so we could spend it on lavish things. Let's plan our expenditures more carefully from now on. I'm not going to reprimand you, no matter where the money came from. But you must have faced quite an opponent to get this. Something like that. Quite an evildoer indeed, who was quite loaded. An evildoer. What sort of evil was he doing? Are you sure he won't come after us later? I wouldn't make a mistake against a small fry like that. Also, I have to make a formal report to someone about what I did. Does anyone have any idea where Delicrox the Younger is? I think Deli's in his room. I just came from there, but he wasn't in. Damn, where could he be? Deli? Impy came up with that nickname. Oh, I like it. Suits the little kid like him. Well, if he's not here, then I guess I'll go look for him. I'll help. I was going to take some breakfast to him. I already finished my own meal long before, so I stand and thank Impy for cooking it. As I'm clearing my plates, St. Germain calls out to me. Oh, that's right. Miss Cardia, are you free this afternoon? Today? I have time. Then would you accompany me shopping? I'd like to go gather some good ingredients for tonight's meal. You need to leave the mansion once a day in any case. How about it? Helping him with the shop. Sounds like something I can do. Alright, I'll come with you. I make plans later with St. Germain, then Lupin and I split up to search for Deli. I knock on the door of the boys' room. There's no response, as Lupin said he's not in his room. He doesn't seem to have returned either. The door isn't locked, but St. Germain told me that it's rude to enter people's rooms without permission. While I was going through training, the Count taught me how to act like a proper lady while walking around in London. Going in without permission would be bad, so don't just go in. I need to put his teaching in action, so I nod to myself and get ready to leave. Squid, no. Get ready to leave. Maybe I should leave the food here? Perhaps Deli will come back while we're looking elsewhere, so I leave the breakfast by the door. Perfect. I gently placed the tray next to the door so that it won't spill and head off. Wonder where he went. St. Germain's gonna push you into a lake. St. Germain's mansion is very big. Even if we were in the same building, it's difficult to find someone here. Perhaps he's wandering around aimlessly through the halls, like I used to. I hope his breakfast doesn't get cold. Nippy made such a delicious meal, so it would be best if he could eat it while hot. While I'm thinking this... Hey! Hey, stop it! I hear Deli's voice. I go over to a nearby window. I said stop, it tickles! It tickles! Cece is playing with Deli. Don't lick my face so much, you! He looks like he's having fun. I look away and sob silently. I'm glad. Deli is able to laugh. I don't know how, but somehow this makes me feel like things will turn out alright. And suddenly, I remember the time I laughed, and how everyone paid attention to me for it. Maybe they all felt like I do now. I keep this thought in my mind and head over to the garden filled with a strange joy. Fine. Very well. You may serve under me. Isn't it an honor? Oh, you have the potential. Obeying me without resistance like this, I shall give you the high seat in my army of darkness. Army of darkness? He jumps back at the sound of my voice and takes a fighting stance. This is pretty much how talking to him always goes, so it doesn't faze me much anymore. What do you want? I see you and Cece have become friends. It's none of your business. But this fellow's name is Cece. Yeah, Impy named him. Impy? The red-headed man who appears to have the lowest intellect of you bunch? Seem to think that named you. Impy is actually pretty impressive, but so many people underestimate him. By the way, why does Cece have a mechanical leg? Because someone hurt him before Impy found him. Impy built that leg so he could walk normally. Deli looks sadly at Cece. They would go so low as to harm the life of that poses no threat to them? Humans are indeed a garbage race. But humans have given Cece a new home, and are taking care of him now. I think there are many different kinds of people. Not all of them are bad. And, what have you come here for? I didn't want you to get hungry, so I brought breakfast to your room. But you weren't in, so... Breakfast. I see. Alright. Yes. Pepper, it's okay. I was laughing so easily earlier, but his voice stiffens when talking with us. Pepper, it's okay. There's nothing I can do about it, but it makes me angry somehow. Oh, there you are. I've been looking for you. Lupin appears, breaking the silence. I have a souvenir for you. A souvenir? You aren't holding anything. Oh, excuse me. Lupin takes this large square cloth from the pocket and lays it on the ground. He slowly pinches it and lifts it up. And there's a small suitcase where the cloth had been. You're some kind of wizard! Unfortunately, I'm just a gentleman thief. This was a trick. Dad looks at him, his eyes wide as Lupin opens the suitcase. Pay attention to what's inside. You'll be surprised. What is this about? Deli turns his attention to the suitcase, sounding offended by Lupin's attitude. Inside the suitcase is... Those are the treasures of the vampires that I was supposed to take back! The case is filled with beautiful pieces of artwork, gems, all packed into one another. You had them all this time? Give them back. They belong to my people. Yes, yes, I know. I stole all these for you. Stole? Lupin shrugs and pushes the suitcase towards the boy. Deli accepts it, looks back at Lupin, seemingly in shock. I never steal for myself. I do it for others. I just found where your treasures were kept and picked them up. I looked into it, and the people who owned these items were making dirty money, so it felt good to steal it from them. What is the meaning of this? I have no way to repay you for these. Even as he says this, he pushes the suitcase behind him with one foot, as if it's truly important to him. Don't worry, I'm not gonna take them back. I've already been paid handsomely by the folks I stole these from. Oh, the handling fee you mentioned. Exactly. How do you like it, Sir Delacroix? Is this how a real thief gets things done? Lupin spins once and then gives the boy a graceful bow. I'm not gonna thank you. I should be thanking you. Going after these artifacts allowed me to earn a huge amount of money that I view ethically. I see, so it's Deli who is to thank for getting you to take action. Hold on. You can't possibly be calling me Deli, can you? I will not be referred to by such a ridiculous name. Delacroix II is a mouthful. It's not making fun of you. It's a step towards true friendship. What do you say? You don't like it? Of course not! Suddenly, Deli's stomach rumbles. Oh, I left some breakfast by the door to your room if you want it. I don't need breakfast! Deli starts running back to the mansion, then turns back to us. I will not thank you! I am not indebted to you at all! Lupin shrugs as we watch Deli run off. Lupin, thank you. Huh? There's no reason you should be thanking me. What's this about? Just speaking on Deli's behalf. Lupin smiles and walks back to the mansion. I turn to Cece, who's laying down quietly. Cece, do you want to go see Deli with me? Cece wags his tail and looks at me. I'm happy you made a new friend. Cece barks energetically. Okay, and I'm actually going to be calling it quits for here right now. Because I've been playing a little bit. But I hope you had fun, Choco. I had a lot of fun with you. And I hope you've been enjoying it. Oh! No, it's fine. He's just saying what we need to get to eat. I keep hitting the wrong one. Yes, hi, Pepper. Man, both Deli and Van have come to think of being a cinder. It runs in the family. Okay. Thank you for watching, Choco. I had a lot of fun. Bye bye.